The biggest wins this year in college basketball. Texas knocked down Carolina. They beat the Big 12 co-champion Kansas State. They beat Kansas. They beat Purdue. And now South Dakota State gets to measure up.
This team runs, scores about 85 points a game. And they surround Mike Dahm with shooters.
Ossetkowski, now he'll also go get boards. He gets 12 a game for him. He's had 10 40-point games in his career, Mike Dahm. But he's also had 20 rebound games on more than a few occasions. And Ossetkowski with the first assignment on him. And look at the Texas lineup.
Well, 3 young guards who this is important for them in postseason. It's not what they wanted, but they have an opportunity to play up to 5 more games. And Coleman, Ramey, and Febres are the future in the backcourt for Shaka Smart's team going into next season.
Ossetkowski starts the scoring for Texas with a 3. And South Dakota State, their lineup. And there's more than Dahm on this crew that can score.
Absolutely. David Jenkins, terrific scorer. Good backcourt. Tevin King. I think they missed the backcourt right here, midcourt.
That's what Tevin King was saying, but instead he picks up the personal foul.
Interesting, Kerwin Roach starting tonight. He did not start in the Big 12 tournament. Suspended last 5 games of the regular season for violation of team rules, and maybe he can have a little redemption in the postseason. Key for a team like Texas is how much do they want to play if it's not the NCAA tournament.
And Roach hits the second 3 early for Texas. Roach is 47 3-point make of the year. You mentioned his suspension down the stretch. You wonder if he would have played if things could have turned out differently for the Longhorns.
Very well could have, Mitch, but it was selfish on his part to put himself in a position where the school and the team felt they had to suspend him, because his difference could have been the difference, as you mentioned, between playing in this tournament and the NCAA tournament.
But the first part of your answer, if Texas would be motivated, might be answered by their defensive end. They've come out with some attention here defensively, especially on Dahm. Ossetkowski, and the Hornets start 3 for 3 from 3. A great sign for Shaka Smart's team.
I think one thing this tournament offers Texas is you can pretty much throw caution to the wind. No hesitation by Ossetkowski. Just let it fly.
Flat with a decent look for South Dakota State.
South Dakota State mostly man. They'll play a little zone.
Sims attacks Dahm. Jericho Sims, some think a big piece of UT's future.
Absolutely. Terrific freshman year. Overshadowed this year by Jackson Hayes in the second year he had.
And the Jackrabbits still cannot score. This King challenged at the line.
Well, I think a timeout might be coming if Texas scores again. This is not the start Coach Otzelberger wanted or needed for his team.
Roach, same spot he just hit. The Longhorns 4 for 4 from 3. Their last 3 games from 3, 22, 21, and 32. Yes, Texas is concerned.
Yeah, for these teams, the hardest game by far is the first game of the NIT, because they really don't want to be playing. They want to be in the big dance. They weren't selected. They didn't do enough. But we've seen in this tournament, another turnover, that when you win the first one, that's the hardest one, things get a little easier. And Mitch, when you get to game 3 with an idea that you might be going to New York, chance to win 5 games, chance to build on the end of the regular season, move some momentum into next year. This can become a very big deal. I like the start for Texas. They are obviously dialed in.
And Shaka Smart, out of the timeout called by T.J. Otzenberger, went to a press and got a turnover. And Osikowski is on fire early. 8, and that's the way he played against Kansas in Kansas City when he had a season-high 18 against the Jayhawks.
This is certainly not the start that Jack Rabbits needed. It's not like the crowd is into it. It's a fairly sparse crowd. It's more about being dialed in if you're the Longhorns.
Some people watching are going with T.J. Otzelberger going, hey, isn't that the Iowa State guy? Yeah, that's him.
Yep, former assistant coach of Fred Hoiberg has done a terrific job in Brookings.
Right now, he's trying to figure this out.
Dominated this one to get off the Schneider to get something going.
Ramey will try it. Why not? Everybody else is making it. Courtney Ramey, the talented freshman from St. Louis.
Listen, it's this team. When they make 10 or more threes this year, they've been dynamite. 8-4. This is how they beat North Carolina in Las Vegas way back in November.
Beat Purdue here. Finally, the Jackrabbits are on the board. Their senior from Clark, South Dakota, Skylar Slatton, gets a straight line to the rim. But Texas has started this way the way Iowa State played in Kansas City, meaning if they play this way, no team in the country is safe from these guys.
Well, they've proven that. You mentioned the teams they've beaten this year. The reason they're playing in this tournament is because they had some losses that were somewhat inexplicable. Up 19 at Baylor. 10 losses in the Big 12 means by a total of an average of 6 points. So think about that. A couple possessions a game, the season would have definitely turned around.
A 3 nailed by Everett. Now Kamaka Hepa gets one down. That's only his 13th make of the year from 3-point range.
The Longhorns are as hot right now as Kamaka Hepa's town is cold for most of the year. Young man from Barrow, Alaska, the northernmost city in the United States. You know, they're up to 11 hours of sunlight up there by this time of year.
A rare mistake by the Longhorns. Other than that, everybody's knocking sound shots.
I know it's further out, but that's a 3. So let's be on the ball here. But this young man's got talent, and he is getting an opportunity to play. I mean, and that's pretty much a summary of their season. When they make threes, they can beat anybody. But that hasn't been the case in terms of a consistent basis.
One of the more stunning road victories. They won at Manhattan early in January, beat K-State by 20 in Manhattan. But they hit 14 threes in that game.
Now, don't bury the lead because Kamal Stokes and Dean Wade did not play this game. But it was the next game, as you know, that Kansas State trailed by 19 at the half to West Virginia, came back and won. It was a game that turned the season around for the Wildcats.
They won 14 of the next 17 games. Just got it around. Second foul on Matt Coleman. So the first issue for Texas is their point guard and a little bit of foul issues.
Well, you see Texas maybe going to the 2-3 zone for that reason.
Arians tries a tough shot. And again, Texas aware defensively. And Jenkins with a hard drive.
Kerwin Roach trying to make it happen at the rim, and usually this guy flies through the air. You know what? He thought he took off from right inside the lane, except the lane is a little bit longer this year, 16 feet instead of 12. But we've certainly seen some highlight dunks from Snoop over his 4-year career.
Yeah, but of those rule changes that we saw that full page on, Fran, what's the most significant, you think, and what could be adopted this year by the rules?
I love the reset to 20 seconds on the offensive rebound as opposed to back to 30. Speeds the game up, and I think you got to coach it. I think it's a fun rule.
And look out for this kid, David Jenkins. He's from Tacoma, Washington. Played at Sunrise Christian Academy, Buddy Hield's alma mater in Wichita, Kansas. But he hit 10 threes in a game this year, Fran, for the Jackrabbits.
Well, he's had 4 games of 30 or more. He and Dom, one of the most prolific scoring duos in the country. And this is a family affair. You see the Jenkins family coming from Tacoma, Washington, and right behind them, the Downs, who make a lot of Mike's games.
Great story. They have 9-hour drives from Kimball, Nebraska to Brookings, South Dakota to watch Mike play. Osikowski has 10 points and has not missed a shot. He's missed 1. But I mean, he's just carrying his Kansas City after the end of it.
Yeah, he looks the guy. He looks like the guy that scored 3 points. He's a transfer from Tulane who played 2 years here at Texas. Finishing his career, hopefully with a potential trip to New York City.
Again challenged at the rim, but Detlinger will draw a foul on the Longhorns. Well, Texas is on it. They have hit 6 threes and they're defending. Recent years, and last year beat Ole Miss. And TJ Altenberger will say, if you want to come to Brookings, I'll play anybody. We'll even play in Sioux Falls. Play on a neutral site.
Play at the Pentagon. It's one of the great places up in the upper Midwest. There you see TJ Otzelberger. Mentioned that he was an assistant at Iowa State. Also went out to Washington with Lorenzo Romar. And that's how he connected and created a relationship with David Jenkins, the outstanding sophomore guard who's from Tacoma. Very proud of their basketball lineage up there in the SeaTac area, Seattle, Tacoma.
In his beginning stages, TJ were with Dick and Tony Bennett. Very influential with him. He's got Wisconsin ties. He's got Wisconsin guys on his team. So he respects the Virginia Cavaliers. And before that, Dick Bennett's Wisconsin Badgers. Jackrabbits aren't used to this deficit. Only one time did they trail by 19 or more, and that was at Purdue.
Wow.
Texas just continues to throw them.
Shaka Smart is saying, where was this late in the season? We could have banked some of these threes, maybe used them.
Jenkins guarded through tough, his second make of the half.
Yeah, they expect him to really, really take over this team next year with the 3 seniors leaving. Wouldn't surprise me, Mitch, if he becomes one of the top scorers in the country the way Mike Dom has. Really talented.
Mike Dom yet to score. He averages 25 a game. One of the top 10 scorers in college basketball history. Ramey gives it up, a terrific assist.
I'm a big fan of Courtney Ramey out of St. Louis. He's going to go to Louisville and play for Rick Pitino. I like his toughness. I think Texas needs more of his toughness on the court. He's a scoring point guard who's had a terrific second half of the year. And watch this little back cut by Osikowski. And Ramey, little one-hand flick bounce pass right on the money. Gets behind the defense. And Dillon continues the hot start.
Ramey picks up a foul. We're only 25 seconds away from one of the key rule experiments in the NIT. It's happened the last couple of years because the team fouls will zero out at 10 minutes to go in the half. There's no one-on-ones in the NIT. It's the NIT's version of daylight savings time.
I like it. Yep, and it's kind of reminiscent of what goes on around the world with 4 quarters. You reset the team fouls, and I like that. I think it keeps teams off the line. speeds the game up. You don't have the foul fest walk to the foul line you do at the end of each half.
And you're involved at the international level a lot in the off season, so a lot of this has an international feel to it, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Roach will try it again, wide open. And a stick back for the Longhorns.
Now that's a guy that has only played 27 minutes this season. That's only his third field goal of the game. Gerald Liddell, the high school star.
Shaka Smart had said he was going to try to play some of these younger guys and use the NIT to try to get them some experience. And with a 16-point lead, he's got the luxury to do that.
Well, they're a 2 seed, so if they win tonight, they'll get the next game will be at home, and they can continue to build up some momentum.
And depending what happens with Alabama in that 1 seed, they could get 3 home games here at the Owen Center.
We talked about the disappointment of playing in this tournament. I'll tell you, the third game, Mitch, I've seen it many times. The third game becomes a game where the kids are really excited to get to New York City, play at the Garden, prolong their season, maybe win a championship. And how many times have we seen that the winner of the NIT goes on the next season and catapults into a really good year?
A reminder, the NCAA Women's Championship first round begins Friday at noon Eastern on ESPN2. Check local listings for the game in your area. And remember, we're also live on the ESPN app, so you can watch at work or anywhere.
Hey, let me tell you, the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State once again making an appearance in the women's NCAA tournament. 9th time for Aaron Johnson's team. I've had a chance to cover a couple of their regionals. Really well-coached team. And of course, they've got a star as well in Macy Miller. You see the numbers. That is a dynamic duo right there, if I ever saw one. But Aaron Johnson's club, a perennial Summit League champ. And really well coached, fun to watch. They'll go up to Syracuse as a 6th seed, and they'll play Quinnipiac in their opening round game.
It's a great athletic department at South Dakota State. In fact, they're the only Division I school, FBS or FCS. The last 7 years, the Jackrabbits have postseason in the women's, men's, and football. Now think about that. All 7 years, all 3 made it to the postseason. They got it going on in Brookings, South Dakota.
Yep.
But Texas has it going on tonight. And Liddell will test fate with the 3. And again, if you see the team fouls at the bottom of the screen, we wiped them out at 10 minutes to go in this half, although Texas does have 1 team foul. And feisty Alex Arians, kid from Madison, Wisconsin, will earn 2 shots.
Boy. Coach Otzelberger was talking about him. We'll talk about what he gets back. Jackrabbits trying to creep back into this one.
In his career has only been in single digits 10 times. He has yet to score in this game. He might be a little bit confused, Fran. Here's why. He's from Kimball, Nebraska.
Yep.
The high school nickname of Kimball, the Longhorns.
Oh, boy.
Arians hits the free throw. Catch every moment of the 2019 National Invitation Tournament on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships.
I like this guy. Coach was talking about Arians today. His older brother played at Wake Forest, finished up there. And he compared him to Manu Ginobili. Lefty, guy that can get into the lane. We just saw that on that last play. Redshirt freshman. He said he's going to miss the 3 seniors, Coach Otzelberger, but he's really excited about the young group that was left behind.
Ozakowski gets called for his first foul. And the second team foul in this period. And here's the Jackrabbits just kind of chipping away, down 12. Looked like they're going to get shoved right to the Rio Grande.
They're nibbling. The Jackrabbits are nibbling a little bit right now, right?
They're tough playing. But Texas also has to be careful here, not just keep their focus.
Matt Coleman, their outstanding point guard, has 3 fouls. We're likely going to see him the rest of the half.
Roach touches it last. Jenkins kind of gets bailed out, and the Jackrabbits will have an underneath OB.
Really enjoyed talking to David Jenkins today. We mentioned Tacoma. He's a great lineage up there. Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley. Of course, the Seattle area has produced so many good players as well.
Arians will try a 3. So all of a sudden, Alex Arians is picking up South Dakota State. He's 37% from 3 this year.
Oh, this is what we talked about. Chip away. Shots are starting to not fall. This guy can shoot it.
Texas, the big size advantage, although they were 9th in the Big 12 this year in rebounding. And now the shots that were going down to start the game are going down no longer. But Dom yet to score.
Yeah, I think Mike's a little anxious right now. That double team came quickly. He got rid of it quickly.
For South Dakota State, #1, Skylar Flatman.
David Jenkins limps off the floor for South Dakota State. He might have taken a knee to the thigh. But Texas is taking some pride here, saying, oh, you're the 1,000-point guy? The 3,000-point guy? Not here. Not tonight.
Not here, not now, not in our building.
So Flatton will pick it up. And Skylar Flatton has 8. Alex Arians has 7. And the Jackrabbits are within 6.
Back in it. Of course, these guys know how to win.
They were down by 19 earlier. A 10-0 Jackrabbit run.
Now this guy can shoot it. Skylar Flatton, 6th-year player, got the extra year. He's had a history of injuries. Grew up in Clark, South Dakota, about 70 miles from Brookings.
And hands by Tevin King. And does it! Tevin King, 117 steals. The pit bull, they call him, sets up. Mike Dom for the dunk.
Here it comes.
5 from 3. They're 2 of 10 since. It might be a time for the Longhorns to go to the rim.
And I think that the Jackrabbits have been in the last few minutes sprinting by the Longhorns.
Nibble no longer. They've taken a big munch here. Can Jackrabbits munch? This is going to be maybe an ill-advised 3 by Kamaka Hepa.
They weren't ill-advised in the first 5 minutes of the game. That ball slipped out of Skylar Flatton's hands when he went up. Now the question is Texas going to continue to rely on the 3-ball?
Sims has a big advantage inside. And Elijah Mitru Long trying to reset here to work. They stay with the 3. And this is going to be on South Dakota State, it appears. Oh, they're going to say the other way. And Courtney Ramey has picked up his 2nd foul. The 2 starting guards now for Texas, Fran, with 5 fouls.
Yep. Another opportunity for T.J. Otzelberger's team to climb back in this. Watch on the weak side of the basket. You see Ramey is grabbing on to Tevin King. Officials right on that.
And Texas is over the limit in this 10-minute period. So that means 2 shots now.
Right. 5 team fouls, 2 shots. And this is a fever rule. No 1-and-1 in the NIT because of this experimental rule. And you like the 1-and-1.
I do.
I like the uniformity of having the rules closely aligned around the world.
King normally 71% at the line. A reminder, the first 4 of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues tomorrow on True TV. Begins at 6:30. p.m. For more information on tournament game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. So splitting a pair is Tevin King. And the Jackrabbits have fought their way back from 19 down to down 3 with 5:03 to go in this half.
Nope.
And Texas just continues to launch.
Down 3, and Dominator only has 1 basket. Tough shot. That was a kick-out play right there.
His buddy Isaiah Thomas might have said you might want to throw it out on there.
Isaiah would have shot it too, and it would have went in.
Had an end one.
Nope, they got to throw it in there. He was open. Swarming.
3 to shoot. And Mitchell Long can't get it. A 3 ties this game. Texas scoreless over the last 6 minutes. And finally, Texas breaks the drought. And it's Jace Febris who can get a bunch in a hurry. He had 8 makes in their victory here against Iowa State from 3-point range.
Yeah, he's been red hot second half of the year, especially down the stretch. Same spot.
And now he steps out. But South Dakota State has fought all the way back.
Having been in that situation before as a favorite in a conference tournament, that was the perfect storm. I watched the tape yesterday. They played a week earlier, no contest. Western Illinois got out to a quick start, and the basket shrunk for the Jackrabbits. It happens. A perfect storm. And your season, the great run in the regular season, all for naught because there's no automatic bid coming out of that league.
Dom saw Texas go zone. His eyes lit up.
And he's made that corner 3 many, many times in that 4-year career.
269 career threes.
Now, if you're Texas, they're almost living and dying on the 3-point line right now and not throwing it inside.
Mitchell Long, well, that looks like his brother. Elijah Mitchell Long, his brother Naz, part of that great front court of Iowa State.
Just saw him this weekend. He was in Kansas City to watch the Cyclones win their 4th 12th tournament title in 6 years. Naz now with the Utah Jazz playing in their G League. Tough shot, challenged well. That might have been deflected.
Yep. And 4 to shoot for the underneath inbounds. Flatten had it barely. Why Texas zoning here, you think?
Probably to keep their guys out of foul trouble a little bit. I mean, they've got, take a look right here. I think you got a piece of that. And I think to change the tempo. The fact that you play zone doesn't mean you can't guard the 3-point line.
Arians has got to pull this. And Texas defends that trip. A deep 3. That's the way he started the game.
Well, they start to heat up again. Courtney Ramey, confident player. I mentioned earlier, Mitch, I love his toughness. He brings a little bit of that junkyard dog mentality to this team.
Dom in the honey spot against the zone. He goes right at the guts of the Longhorn zone.
Starting to see the versatility of Mike Dom's scoring. The 3, the run out, and the jump hook.
How about Texas? 21 3-point attempts, and now an illegal screen called on Royce Hand. The Longhorns, 21 3-point attempts, 9 2-point attempts.
Well, no Jackson Hayes tonight. And when you look at some of the big guys they're playing out there right now, Ham and Hepa, Ham is a rebounder, toughness guy. Tabaka Hepa loves to play on the perimeter. Not hard to understand why. It's a dangerous strategy.
Texas did not turn it over earlier, and now they had some issues with that. They've extended their lead back to 7.
Got to give him room to land. Loves Ham up in the air.
And that is a second foul on Tevin King, the Jackrabbit point guard. Reacher long hits another 3. 31% of the regular season, way better than that tonight.
I think the pressure's off the Texas. You know, they've come ready to play. And offensively, they're not hesitating. They're letting it fly.
Back to a double-digit lead after the Jackrabbits got it to 1 possession, and now Dom's starting to feel it.
How about that skill? That's skill level right there. That's a jump hook over both shoulders, a 3 in the corner. Of course, he got the easy one when he hustled and ran the floor.
At the buzzer not there, but South Dakota State's within the zip code. Texas has shot at making 11 first-half threes, but the Jackrabbits are within single digits. Texas by 8. We'll be back after this. We also saw the Jackrabbits make a run to get within 1 possession, so hang on with the rest of this game.
Well, to your point, and it's been a microcosm of the Longhorn season, as they shoot, so goes this team, and they make these shots right here.
You know, Sidkowski with fresh legs didn't play much late in the half because of foul trouble. He's got 15. Again, he had a season-high 18 against Kansas in the quarterfinals of the Big 12 championships in Kansas City. Texas almost won it.
Yes, and that is their 12th three-point shot tonight, 12 of 24.
Flat and good take inside. The senior from Clark, South Dakota. Double figures with 10.
Willow Creek High School?
Yeah, they won the state title, right?
This last weekend, Class B. Yep.
Again, the bracket here. The winner of this game will play the winner of tomorrow night's game in Cincinnati between Xavier and Toledo.
And Xavier's got one of those teams that could really benefit from a deep run in the tournament. Played good basketball at the end of the Big East season. 2 outstanding sophomores, Najee Marshall and Paul Scruggs. And that's a team that could use this tournament to springboard into next season.
Well, we've seen TCU use it. We've seen Baylor use it.
Wichita State, Greg Marshall's great run there, I believe, started
in 2011 when they won the NIT.
Yep. They had a great win at home over College of Charleston. Remember the name Andrew Goudlock, who played in the NBA for a while, now playing overseas. He had some amazing shots that night for the Cougars, but the roundhouse was rocking. They went to New York and really started a great run.
And what about the teams that could most use the NIT to springboard for next year?
Well, all these teams, and Wichita State, Mitch, you know how young they were this year. Kudos to Patrick Ewing, who's done a great coaching job there. He started a freshman backcourt. These are the kind of teams that can really use this tournament to go to New York, gain some momentum, and get ready to get started on next season.
The first Texas free throws of the evening from Dylan Osikowski. And he's having a night, 16 points. This is the way Texas started the game, Fran. Good on both ends. And a foul inside, trying to defend against Jericho Sims. Arians gets the infraction, and that's 3 team fouls early in the first minute and a half of this half. Kerwin Roach stays with it.
Mike Dahm got the first. He was the recipient of the block shot right here. Kerwin Roach picks it up. And he's going to go to the line and shoot 2. He's gotten better every year, Mitch. He's a solid player. He's, he was suspended a couple times this year. That set him back. I told you that's just a sign of immaturity. That does not help his pro career going forward. But I know he's glad to be back in the lineup and playing for these Longhorns.
And part of that 2-6 finish for Shaka Smart's team. I mean, there were plenty of chances. The committee even said,
oh yeah,
I mean, 16 is a high volume of losses. No 16-loss team has ever made it as an at-large selection in the NCAA tournament. But losing to TCU on the final home game, they got swept by the Frogs. The earlier losses, they lost to VCU and Radford here, but there were chances.
Disappointed would be, the watchword, but disappointed more in themselves. I don't think they could be possibly disappointed about the basketball committee's decision to leave them out of the tournament, to your point.
Now the Jackrabbits need a bucket. Instead, they turn it over, and Jenkins frustrated.
Jackrabbits got to lock in a little bit now. Texas has kept the door open for them.
First turnover for the Jackrabbits in 17 minutes. Dahm around Sims, and that left Dentlinger at point-blank range.
Yeah, good pass inside. Dentlinger, the redshirt freshman. There are 7 freshmen on this roster. Over 50% of this roster are young guys that will be back for 3 more years.
Well, what about Dahm's ability to pass it? I mean, he's the only player in the country averaging 25 points and 10 boards a game. Osakowski's working on a career high now, but Dahm able to see the floor and give it up if need be.
Yeah, no question. He's a complete basketball player. He's proven that over his long career.
He'll try that one.
Yep. I think the one thing that stands out to me when I watch Mike Dahm play is it's not the 3,000 points. It's the overall efficiency in his game and the skill level.
Texas, maybe seen it before. He reminds me a little bit of a Dean Wade in the fact, in what you said. He does all the little things.
That's a great point, a great comparison.
Sims goes right at the aforementioned Dahm and scores. Jericho Sims his second field goal.
What's really interesting about Dahm, he could have left. He redshirted as a freshman, so he could have been eligible to be a grad transfer. There was a lot of talk that schools were calling and contacting. He decided to finish his career in Brookings. Look at this.
Now he's starting to feel it. That's 15. And on the cusp, the next bucket will make him the number 8 all-time scorer in NCAA history.
You know that stat about 10 games in single figures? Throw that one out the window.
And this guy has been the answer for Texas tonight.
Oh, Dahm's open at the top. They have it.
Trying to draw contact. And the Jackrabbits just work their way to that one, and an injured Jackrabbit at midcourt. Arians is down for South Dakota State as Osakowski now picks up his 3rd foul. That could be a factor because he leads the Horns with 19 points.
And for South Dakota State, number 4, Ryan Krieger.
Arians was away from the play, Fran. He was at midcourt, a long away from the action. But this does not look particularly good for the freshman from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, you know what? We can't really tell because he's at midcourt. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to speculate. I would say I wonder if it was maybe a cramp.
Anyway, the Jackrabbits with possession.
Looks like they're taping him up, so.
He's a Wisconsin kid. He's tough.
Yep. Got me thinking cheese curds right now.
No, they tape your ankles to eat breakfast, and that's there. Jenkins hadn't scored in a while until now. And he's in double figures with 10. And here are the Jackrabbits back within 7.
Oh, boy.
And the Longhorns answer with the 3.
Breakdown right there. Nobody picked up Eli Mitru Long. The transfer from Mount St. Mary's, and no defense right there. Jackrabbits need a couple stops.
Texas with 14 made threes. We still have 15 minutes to go in the game, and Febres only has 1. Mitru Long will try it again.
Oh, he slipped. Oh, man.
And we get an and one opportunity. That's the way T.J. Otzelin wrote it up. Hey, slip it out of your hands and then just find it.
Shooting. There's been some consternation on the part of his mom, who's a great player, that he shot fakes too much.
She is in the Wyoming Hall of Fame. And there's Mom.
Yep.
Mike's dad played football at Wyoming. She was one of the great women's basketball players in the University of Wyoming history.
Yep. She sure was. 1,000-point rebounder as well. She looks like she can get to the boards, doesn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. She would drive to Fort Collins.
Oh, gosh.
And
how many trips did they make to Brookings, you said, from Kimball?
And it's 9 hours.
Oh.
And you have to take 2-lane roads until you get to I-90 at Rapid City. And then you're not even halfway there yet. And then you just keep cranking. But how many nights, blizzards?
Oh, yeah.
And
there's Dad Mitch, who was an outstanding tight end in Wyoming.
And they farm in Kimball, Nebraska. They have, in western Nebraska, 6,700 acres. They have some irrigated corn ground and wheat ground.
That is a foreign world to me, my friend.
We'll take you out there sometime. The Kimball Longhorns. It's the highest point in Nebraska, by the way, in case you wanted to know.
What, 10 feet?
No, 5,400 feet.
Okay. Wow.
That's legit.
Wow.
Kimball, Nebraska is almost as close to Salt Lake City, Nebraska. I mean, Salt Lake City, Utah is Omaha, Nebraska. And Skylar Flatness gets an easy path to the rim, and this is a 5-point game. Febres has not had the night, and now just grabbing Royce Ham Jr. is David Jenkins, and he's got his son. But Mike Dahm, the incredible career of Mike Dahm, only one of 3 players in the last 20 years to have multiple 30-point and 20 rebound games in a season. He started 0 for 3, Fran, in the first 14 minutes, and he has had 15 points since then. A NBA Wednesday doubleheader starts in Philadelphia. Big Eastern Conference matchup. The Celtics and 76ers. That's at 7 Eastern. Then to OKC. Kawhi and the Raptors against Russell Westbrook and the Thunder. Both games on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Yeah, Mike will get a chance. He's not thought of very highly on the draft boards right now. The athleticism question is big, but he does, because of the skill level, he's going to get a chance. If he's not drafted, he's going to be on a summer league team. Kind of has that Ryan Anderson kind of game. Can shoot it from outside. This guy can shoot it from outside.
Not tonight. He's like the only Longhorn that's not shot it from 3 effectively. But there's guys that you see playing the league for 5 to 7 years. Like
yep, he'll get a chance. He really will. He'll definitely be in Las Vegas this summer. stretches the defense. Obviously, the defensive component is the big play.
Yeah, who's he going to guard?
Right. And that's the question you always ask. You are who you guard in the NBA. But very intriguing because of that multifaceted skill level.
First personal. Texas 40.
Febres has trouble guarding Dom and has to foul. Arians is back after his issue with the trainer. And a loaded up three in a corner. David Jenkins with 15. 8th in the nation in three-point shooting percentage. 2-point game in Austin.
Amazing. Down 19 in the first half, Mitch. They are grinding their way back into it.
And Jenkins with the active hands, a former National Freshman of the Week.
Pick and pop right here.
And Texas dodges one.
Oh, Dillon had it right at the rim, the freshman from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. We'd love to have that one back.
Boy, nice float and a take by Kerwin Roach II. And he's in double figures with 10. He had 32 in their win over North Carolina earlier in the season.
Little zone now by Texas. Changing things up.
Dom again in the land of milk and honey, but cannot finish against the zone. Instead, Roach South Dakota State's expression, Fran, has not changed the whole game.
It's a great point, even when they got down early.
Did not care.
They've had a couple just go in and out. Dom from the left, Jenkins from the right.
Roach contact. It's going to be on Arians.
Well, they're getting back into it, not because they have some outstanding scores, but what a great run for these three seniors. They win tonight, Mitch. They become the winningest group of seniors in Jackrabbit history.
And Scott Nagy was the guy that took the Jackrabbits from Division II to Division I, and that was somewhat painful. They were an independent, couldn't get a lot of home games. So, I mean, they went on the road and got hammered. But I had their only Division I postseason victory. They won at Colorado State in the NIT. That was Dom's redshirt year. And that was Coach Nagy getting that done. Yep. But that was kind of a night the Jackrabbits arrived on the scene nationally, and they have been really good since then.
Reed Tillinghausen is now a grad assistant on this team. He's one of their stars. Watch out!
Skylar Flatten living up to his first name.
Absolutely. And what a couple years he's had. He battled some major injuries. We mentioned earlier he got an extra year from the NCAA, and he is enjoying his final season as a Jackrabbit. Oh, he just, watch this. The sea parted, no help. He goes right to the rim. And even Jericho Sims, who can touch the top of the square, said, no, I'm going to stay away from that one. Hi, Mr. Holdis. Explain to me now what's going to happen in 6 seconds.
It's the NIT's version of daylight savings time. You're going to see the team fouls zero out. And it's kind of a big deal here because both teams are in the bonus. Now, Otsikowski to the line. He's 2 of 3 tonight. But you're going to see the team foul zero out will start all over. So and it's really one of the interesting parts of the NIT experiment.
And what it does is it simulates playing 4 quarters. where you start all over. So now let me ask you a question. Do I lose an hour of sleep?
You do.
Okay.
Get ready. 2, 1. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. We zero out the fouls.
There you go.
See it?
So this is like playing the start of the fourth quarter in FIBA or NBA or high school.
And last year the NIT played 4 quarters, but this year decided to go back to the traditional 20-minute halves. Dom, what a tough shot.
How about that?
He is now, with those 2 points, number 8 all time in college basketball scoring, and he blocks a shot.
Oh, man, rejection. This kid's skilled, man. Woo! Fun. NIT, watching a little hoops. Watching this guy go to work.
Now with the left-handed hook.
I feel like I'm watching McHale in his heyday. Kevin McHale.
America, you're finally getting a look at Mike Dom. And it's a 1-point game. The Longhorns need to score.
Those jumpers come a little bit more difficult now, a little more pressure. Oh, this is good basketball right here. Watch Mike Dom. Hits the tough fadeaway over Osakowski. And then watch him. He's going to stay in your picture. Here comes the drive by Ramey. He sends it back. He's got a great nickname and a Twitter handle, the Dominator.
And Coleman turns it over. And South Dakota, that's 8 Texas turnovers. And South Dakota State can take the lead. They have never had the lead because they were down, what, 14-0 to start the game, 19-0 to start the game.
These 2 guys can score, Jenkins and Dom.
There's your floater. There's your lead. South Dakota State's Shaka Smart says, uh-oh, game on in Austin.
Deja vu for this Texas team who has
15 points in 17.5 minutes. And then his teammate Jenkins also coming alive. The Longhorns of Texas, 14 made threes, 7 made twos.
42% of their field goal attempts this year are from behind the arc. That's unusually high for a team that often struggles out there. Look at this.
The unforced air leads to the force at the other end. 21 for Mike Dom. An 8-0 jackrabbit run.
Well, this is, we said it before, it's all about who is ready to play when you have the heartbreak at the end of the regular season. Do you want the season to continue? Head to the NCAA. That did not happen. Bitter loss for the Jackrabbits in the Summit League quarterfinals. They had to wait over a week to get back on the court. And this will be fun basketball the last 8 minutes.
South Dakota State won 13 of the last 14 games prior to that upset. Ramey, fresh legs, and fires it in. 3 threes for the freshman from St. Louis. He had a double-double at Baylor when he had 17 and 10.
No hesitation right there by Ramey. And I mentioned he loves the moment, loves his toughness.
Osakowski against Dom.
Well, good response by Texas out of the timeout. There you see, first it was the 3, and then Osakowski run through the passing lane. There's that kick out 3 by Courtney Ramey out of Webster Groves High School in St. Louis.
How about the decision-making by Texas, 2s and 3s?
Well, in fairness, they don't have Jackson Hayes, who made over 70% of his shots, and I can guarantee you almost all of them were in the paint. But this is a team that shot a lot of 3s this season.
5 times this year, Texas shot more 3s than 2s. They were 4-1 in those 5 games.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I thought that was a legal screen right there. Now, if Dom moves the chicken wing out to the left, let's take a look. If he moves, that's a legal screen right there.
Second foul on Dom, but he's picked those up, Fran, in the last 35 seconds.
Mismatch.
Sims didn't realize it, and Coleman will try a three. And Texas will keep it. But Sims didn't know that he had the 6'2" David Jenkins on him.
And for South Dakota State, number 32,
And Dentlinger comes back in for a little more size, but he's got 4 fouls for the Jackrabbits.
Texas is going to go back man. They're going to run the same play they ran earlier with the same screen. Oh, look at this, another steal.
What a night for Dylan Osakowski. 23, close to career high.
He ran through 2 consecutive passing lanes. This was just a soft pass by Jenkins. Watch this. Watch Osakowski just reach in. And that's a gift right there. He said, thank you very much. I'll take it.
A delay of game warning given to the Longhorns. 3-point Longhorn lead. They led 19-0 to start the game.
Got the mismatch.
The reset to 20 after the offensive board. Now Dom loses it on the dribble. Jenkins in a better position this time, and Texas, and Dom gets it back, and a foul on Dom. It's his third. And TJ Otzelberger and his star disagree.
The key is, did he go over the back, or was he just practicing verticality right there? You know, the defensive guy backed into him. That's 3 really tough breaks. Shot goes up. Watch Dom. He goes straight vertical. And Coleman just jumps back into him. And of course, Dom penalized for being 6'9" right there. Tough break. But Texas's intensity is picked up. That's for sure. I used to tell officials when we were in an underdog situation, if we're good enough to win, I want to win. They knew what I meant.
Yeah. Don't help him out, and now a turnover.
Yep.
Ramey palms it. 10 turnovers on the Longhorns. And Shaka Smart's turn to argue. Don traveling. And Osakowski, his intensity has fueled the rest of the team.
I think so. Now, Dom was starting to light this team up, and Osakowski said, I need to become a stopper. He's done a good job here down the stretch.
3-point lead for Texas. Can they hang on? Hated this, though.
Yes, yes. We were impressed with practice today. Very intense, very sharp. Team was locked in. You see Mike Dom. He's getting worked on by the trainers.
The crowd's even into it now, Fran. It was like room tone when you're doing a taping.
I wanted to whisper.
Yeah.
I didn't want the kids to hear what I was saying about it.
Peppa tries the 3.
Jackrabbits have to get back to half-court offense and play with poise. They've been very sloppy. A couple helium passes have gotten stolen.
Flatten a pretty good look on that curl. And how much of that, too, is Texas active hands?
Definitely, definitely, absolutely. Again, it's all about whether Texas wants to keep playing. Really good pass, and Hepler just dropped it.
Jackrabbits have been scoreless the last 4 minutes. 3 would tie. And stepping out, and the Jackrabbits are out of sync.
That's the type of offense they cannot have down the stretch. They got to be more efficient. Texas hanging on. Switch and mismatch right now. Coleman guarded by Dom.
And you got King on Sims, which is a problem. Instead, Texas launches the 3.
They never looked inside.
Sims at 6'9", had 7 inches on telling King, and King's got 4 fouls.
That is basketball IQ right there.
Dom will take that one from the angle. 23 for Mike Dom.
Good set play by TJ Otzelberger right there.
And now 7th all time in the history of college basketball in scoring. And that ties a career high for Dylan Osikowski. It was last year. He had 25 against Iowa State on New Year's Day.
I wonder if he's wondering if he should have played in the summer league. Set play right there.
Jenkins will earn 2 shots, and Texas begs to differ.
This is a tough shot. They run a set play for Mike Dom coming out of a timeout. He's going to catch it going away from the basket. Watch him square up, knock it down. And then Big O comes back with the jump hook over the left shoulder. You know that late whistle right there? Never minded that as a coach. If you got it right, you needed a second to think about it, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because the opposite of that is too quick and getting it wrong.
Exactly.
David Jenkins, you talk about guys loving the moment as we look at Dom, but Jenkins had a half-court buzzer beater to win in Fargo over North Dakota State, who's in the NCAA tournament, by the way. They won the Summit tournament. Then he beat Ole Miss as a freshman. This kid loves this moment.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. That's a common trait of those kids up in the Seattle-Tacoma area. They do not mind pressure. Very tight-knit basketball community up there. They're not afraid to switch out there. Got that mismatch again. They didn't throw it in.
Resets to 20 with the offensive board.
Yep, new rule change, experimental. I like it. You've got to have an organized offense to get into quickly.
Good take, Matt Coleman inside dribble.
I like the idea that he went at King with those 4 fouls. Texas can afford the fouls as long as it's not in the act of shooting.
Dom using all those fakes and the touch. 25 for Mike Dom. 1-point game in Austin. Around and getting 2 shots. And if it's on Dentlinger, he's gone. Matt Dentlinger disqualified at 59.8.
Now, in the Big 12, Osikowski usually will pass out of the post. But tonight he's got what he feels is a mismatch. I think he's correct. And he's been very aggressive with his own offense. Now, here's something interesting. Is that that's the 15 foul on? That's right.
So Dentlinger's gone. And both teams now, the next foul, yeah, both teams will shoot 2 here the rest of the way because we're inside of a minute to go.
Now they're going to go to their starting lineup, the Jackrabbits, which is essentially a point guard, 2 small forwards. Someone's going to have to guard Osikowski.
4 of 7 at the line and a new career high for Dylan Osikowski.
He just stuck his hand out. He wanted Jenkins to give him 5 on that free throw.
No such doing. They had Tevin King on the inside lane. We're going to see how.
Span, and there's times he plays 7-1.
Well, Osikowski's played 7-1 tonight with his 26 points. Texas 10 of 15 at the line. And stays with his splitting a pair in 8 trips.
They can get a great shot here, but they like to have it in this guy's hands. He babied it up there. You got to go through Coleman. Or was it Ramey? I think it was Ramey.
It was Ramey, and Ramey did a great job defensively.
Yeah, you got to take that ball right up through Ramey's nose and not double pump right there. Take a look. Watch this. Jenkins does a great job of getting to the basket. Watch him double pump. Now you got to take it right up through him.
Coleman 2 of 2 at the line. Everybody's shooting 2 now the rest of the way with the NIT experimental rules. Coleman 78 for the year, by the way, at the line. When he's doing point guard things for Texas, things are just different. He was 10 over 1 assist to turnover in their win against Iowa State.
Yep. Well, it helps when his teammates are making shots. Don't need a 3. I don't know. To me, always going to the basket in that situation.
Yeah, down 4. You're not going to get a 4-point play after him, maybe, but Don never touched it either.
Right. Exactly. 7th leading scorer, is it? Is it 7th now?
Yeah, is it 7 now? But
quick one. Contested. I like to drive those right there. Get to the rim. Get your big guy involved.
If Texas wins, it might have been Coleman's drive, to your point, when he got the bucket, taking it to the rim, that gave them the advantage they enjoy now.
Yep. You'd like to think he knew King had 4 fouls, too.
Shorter on that one. And a foul on Texas.
Which is not a bad foul. That's the 2nd foul, but now.
But inside it's.
That's right.
It's actually inside of a minute.
There it is.
They're going to go shoot 2. There's your experimental rule.
Yep. So it'll go to 4 fouls inside 2 minutes, like the NBA.
Yep.
And we've been impressed.
Big time. Farm kid south of Dix, Nebraska, decided to go to the big city of Kimball so he could get better looks in recruiting. And he has been one of college basketball's best. Boy, South Dakota State has just deferred the launching, down 5. You can still have a chance to even shoot a mid-range 2 or go to the glass.
Yep. I always like to take the 2 or the potential 2 and 1, drive it, kick out 3. I think he was trying to get one last long 3 up there.
But does it now enter his mind that this could be it? If these free throws go down, and does it enter your mind if you're Mike Daum saying, what a run?
And conversely for Texas, if they hold on, a chance to go over 500 and one step closer to going to New York City. 2 more wins, and that'll happen.
We'll give Texas credit here.
I wouldn't foul, but don't score. There you go. Smart play. That's good sportsmanship by Matt Coleman.
But Mike Dom's thinking of those trips his mom would take him to Fort Collins for AAU practice or driving the gravity wagon during grain harvest with his dad. Mike Dom, take a bow. Young man, take a bow. What a great career, Mike Dom and Texas. The eyes of Texas are now on the next round. They'll take on the winner of tomorrow night's game.